So suppose you're given a parametric equation, x is equals to 1 over t plus 2, y is equals to 1 minus 2t over 3 plus t, where t is greater than 0. You are told to show that the equation of c can be written in the form y is equals to g of x, where g is a function, and you should give your answer in this particular form, where x is greater than k. So the first thing that you need to do whenever you're given such a question is first by making t the subject, the formula of this equation, which is in terms of x, the parametric equation of x. So once you make t the subject, you are going to substitute that value of t in terms of x into the equation y. So as you can see, when I decided to make t the subject here, I decided that I should multiply. I should take this 2 on this side, it becomes x minus 2, and that is equals to 1 over t. Then if I find a reciprocal, t is 1 over x minus 2. When we substitute now this part that we have here into the equation 1 minus 2, instead of t, we are going to substitute 1 over x minus 2. If you do that and you try to simplify, you get your answer becoming x minus 4 over 3x minus 5. So in that case, you need also to state the value of k, because t approaches 0, so which means, and x greater than k is basically a domain. So since it's a domain, it's going to be substituted into the x value. So you're going to substitute where you have where you have t greater than 0. It means t can take any number which is more than 0. So which means the least number that you can have is when you have 2. So which means that x is greater than 2. So because if you substitute 0 here, this function is going to be undefined. So meaning that the least value of x you can have is something which is greater than 2. Because if maybe you have 0.0001, it will be a number which is slightly more than 2. So that's why we have that. Now, another part that I would like also to take you is a part where you are told hence and otherwise state the range of g. How do you state the range? And you can see the range is going to be g of x is greater than -2, less than 2, less than 1 over 3. So that's basically the range, and I'm going to show you why that's the case. And of course, maybe if you are told to sketch that graph, that's how the graph looks like. For you to sketch such a graph here, it means that you need to find the y-intercept, x-intercept, you find the horizontal and the vertical asymptote. In this case, the horizontal asymptote is going to be 1 over 3, and the vertical asymptote is where you're going to take this part, you basically equate it to 0, and then you solve for x. That's why you can see it's the x is 5 over 3, so the vertical asymptote is going to be this line here. Okay, so let's dive in so that we can be able to check how do you find the range. How did I arrive at this particular answer that I have here? So the best way I can be able to show you this is that you go to the y part of the parametric equation. You go to this particular equation, because range is obtained from the y axis or the y value. Yeah, so how much is the function going to stretch on the y-axis? What's the range? So range is obtained from y, but the domain is obtained from the x. That's why you can see here we said if x is greater than 2, we got it from here. because t can be greater than 0, so which means that we are going to have x greater than a number more than 2. But for us to state the range, we are going to use this, and then we are going to make t the subject of the formula here. So once we've made the subject of the formula, but we were told that t is greater than 0, and in that condition, so which means that after this equation, we're going to say greater than 0. So this is going to be an inequality which you are going to solve. Upon solving this inequality here, you can now comfortably see it's going to be y all g is less than 1 over 3 greater than -2. So basically that's what you're going to do whenever you're going to have a question that's like that. Let's look at the second question on the same question 2, whereby you are as well given two parametric equation. The curve C has parametric equation x equals to t over t minus 3, y is equals to 1 over t plus 2, where t is a member of real numbers and t is greater than 3. Now show that all points C lies on the curve with the Cartesian equation this, where a, b, and c are constants to be found. So for you to write in this particular form, what we're going to do is to make t the subject of the formula for this particular part of x, so that we substitute that anywhere you have t, you substitute what you have gotten as subject of the formula from the first parametric equation. So once you have this, you substitute it into this equation, and this is going to be 7x minus 1. Of course, algebra, you can be able to perform some algebraic expressions there for you to get it. So you're going to have 7x minus 1 over 3x as our answer. Then now to find the range, it means we are going to use this equation that we are having here, the y part of the equation, make t the subject of the formula, and you say, after you making t the subject, let's see, t the subject, we are going to have something like this. This is the equation. Now after making the subject, and you can see what I've just done here, this is t is equals to 1 over t minus 2, right? So which means that I'm going to multiply both sides, because I shall have from here, I shall have 1 over y minus 2, t is greater than 3. So meaning that for this part, we're going to say y minus 2 is greater than 3, the way this value here is given. So once you have done that, you are going to multiply both sides by y minus 2 squared. The reason as to why we're doing that is because this is an inequality and we don't know whether this is going to be a negative number. So you square, so that when you square in n number, it becomes positive. So this inequality is not going to be switched. So you are going to multiply both sides by y minus 2 squared, y minus 2 squared. So this and this will part of it cancel, and you are going to have this expression. So you're going to simplify, and then you will have a quadratic inequality, and basically our quadratic inequality will be that. So upon solving this quadratic inequality, we're going to get y is greater than 2 or less than 7 over 3. So that is basically the most appropriate and straightforward method you can be able to use to get the range. So there could be a shortcut here, so you can be able to follow through, but I mostly recommend students to use this, because most of the time you've been doing quadratic inequalities, and that will make you get the range for that. So at this particular point, you can try this one, and check whether you are going to get the same answer there.